Every morning when I wake up, I remind myself, the world will not wait for me. If I want to win, I must first win my own mind. Many people wait for opportunity, but opportunity only comes to those who are ready. Success is not about money or power. It starts with how you talk to yourself. Today I will share 8 things you must tell yourself every morning. If you practice this daily, your confidence grows, your vision becomes clear, and your life will begin to transform. Every morning I remind myself, life is not a competition with other people. It is a competition with who I was yesterday. Too many people compare their lives to others and feel unhappy. But if you focus on becoming just a little bit better each day, you will always win. Being stronger than yesterday doesn't mean you lift more weight or work longer hours. It means you think smarter, you learn faster, and you handle challenges with more courage than the day before. When I built Alibaba, I faced rejection after rejection. Investors told me no, people laughed at my English, and competitors were bigger than me. But every morning I told myself, Jack, you are stronger than yesterday. That gave me the courage to try again. You cannot control the past, but you can control today. If you improve your mindset and actions even a little, you will look back and see how far you have come. Being stronger than yesterday is not only about big success, it's also about discipline in small things. Yesterday you wasted time scrolling your phone. Today, spend that time reading. Yesterday you avoided a difficult conversation. Today, face it with honesty. Yesterday you doubted yourself. Today, remind yourself you are capable. These small victories build real strength. Great success is nothing more than many small improvements collected over time. Strength also means resilience. Yesterday you may have failed, but today you rise again. Many people give up after failure because they think weakness defines them. No, weakness is only temporary. If you stand up one more time, you are already stronger. The world does not reward those who never fall. It rewards those who rise every time they fall. Every scar is proof that you are no longer the same person you were yesterday. Success in life and business comes from this daily strength. I tell young people, don't worry if you are not the best today. Worry only if tomorrow you are the same as today. If you want a better future, start by creating a stronger version of yourself each morning. Learn a new skill, control your emotions, improve your health. These are the foundations. A person who grows daily will eventually surpass everyone who only dreams. So every morning, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am stronger than yesterday. Say it with belief, not just words. When you repeat this daily, your mind starts to look for ways to grow. Slowly, your actions change, your confidence builds, and your life transforms. Remember, success is not built in one day, but it is built every day. If you are stronger today than yesterday, then you are already on the path to greatness. Every morning I tell myself, the most powerful thing I own is not my money, not my company, not even my reputation. It is my mind. If I cannot control my mind, then everything outside will control me. Fear, anger, jealousy, doubt. Too many people are prisoners of their own thoughts. They wake up thinking about problems instead of possibilities. But if you control your mind, you control your day. And if you control your day, you control your future. When I was young, I failed my school exams many times. I was rejected from jobs again and again. If I had listened to the voice in my head that said, you are not good enough, then Alibaba would never exist. Instead, I trained my mind to focus on possibilities. I told myself, maybe I failed yesterday, but today I will try again. This mindset gave me the strength to continue. Controlling your mind means deciding which thoughts deserve your energy and which ones you must ignore. Your mind is like a garden. If you let weeds grow, they will take over everything. Negativity, fear, and doubt are weeds. If you do not pull them out, they will destroy your confidence. But if you plant seeds of courage, patience, and belief, your garden becomes strong. Every morning you must decide what you will plant in your mind. Controlling your mind is not about avoiding problems. It is about choosing the thoughts that give you power instead of weakness. In business and in life, people will always criticize you. If you let every negative comment live in your mind, you will lose focus. I remember when people said, Jack, you cannot do e-commerce in China. People will never trust online payments. If I had allowed their doubt to live in my head, Alibaba would have died before it started. Instead, I trained my mind to stay calm, to stay focused on the vision. Controlling your mind means you are the driver, not the passenger. Every challenge you face is first won or lost in your mind. If you think you cannot, you are already defeated. If you think you can, you give yourself a chance. Athletes, leaders, and entrepreneurs all understand this truth. They win not only because they are skilled, but because their mind is stronger than fear. When I say, "Today I control my mind," I remind myself that emotions are temporary, but discipline is permanent. A controlled mind creates unstoppable energy. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't let your phone, your stress, or the world decide your thoughts. Take a deep breath and say, "Today I control my mind." With that choice, you decide to think with strength, not weakness. You decide to believe in progress, not excuses. You decide to act with focus, not distraction. If you learn to master your mind, everything else in life becomes possible. Control your mind today, and tomorrow the world will follow your vision. When I look back at my life, I realized my greatest teachers were not my professors, not the books I read, but the challenges I faced. Every problem taught me something no classroom could teach. A rejection letter taught me resilience. A failure taught me humility. A mistake taught me wisdom. Many people try to avoid challenges, but I tell you, challenges are the most honest teachers. They never lie to you. They never flatter you. They simply show you who you really are. When I started Alibaba, we had no money, no technology, and no experience. Every day was a new challenge. Competitors were stronger, the market was uncertain, and people did not trust us. But each challenge forced us to grow. We learned to be resourceful, to be patient, and to keep believing when others doubted. Without those struggles, Alibaba would not exist today. Every challenge is like a test life gives you, and if you pass it, you become stronger for the next one. The problem is that most people see challenges as punishment. They complain, they give up, or they wait for easier times. But the truth is, the more challenges you face, the more prepared you are for success. Imagine a tree growing without wind. It would be weak and break easily. But a tree that grows in storms becomes deeply rooted. In the same way, challenges build your character. They are not here to destroy you. They are here to prepare you for the future you dream of. One thing I learned is that challenges don't just build strength. They also build creativity. When you have no money, you must find smarter ways. When you face failure, you must find new solutions. That is how innovation is born. If everything in your life is easy, you will never think differently. But when you face pressure, you start to use your imagination. Many of Alibaba's best ideas were created during hard times, not during comfortable ones. Challenges also teach you humility. When you fail, you learn that you are not perfect. When you struggle, you learn to respect other people's struggles. This humility allows you to lead with compassion and wisdom. I always say, a leader who has never faced real challenges cannot understand his people. To lead others, you must first be shaped by difficulties. That is why I never fear challenges. They are part of the training that prepares me for greater responsibility. So every morning I tell myself, challenges are my teacher. Instead of asking, why me? I ask, what can I learn from this? When you change your mindset, the same problem becomes a lesson, and every lesson makes you more valuable. Don't run away from challenges. Welcome them, study them, and grow from them. If you can do that, then no challenge can ever truly defeat you, because each one will only make you wiser and stronger than before. Every morning I remind myself, success and happiness are not gifts from other people. They are rights we must claim for ourselves. Too often people think only the rich or the lucky deserve a good life. That is not true. You deserve success and happiness the moment you decide to work for it. Believing you deserve it is the first step, because without that belief, you will never have the courage to chase it. When I was young, I failed my exams many times. I was rejected from dozens of jobs, even from KFC. Did I feel like I deserved success then? I thought maybe the world was not made for people like me. But one day I realized no one will hand you success. You must first believe you are worthy of it and then prove it with your actions. That shift in mindset changed my life. Many people confuse success with money. They think if they are poor, they don't deserve success. But success is not about how much money you have. It is about how much value you create, how much impact you make, and how much joy you bring into your own life. If you work hard, if you keep learning, if you help others, then you already deserve success, even before the results arrive. Happiness, too, is misunderstood. People say, when I succeed, then I will be happy. But I tell you, happiness must come first. If you are not happy with who you are today, success will not fix it tomorrow. Happiness is not a destination, it is a fuel. When you wake up grateful, when you enjoy the small progress, when you celebrate your efforts, you build the energy that carries you to success. I always tell young people, if you do not believe you deserve happiness, you will sabotage yourself. You will reject opportunities, avoid risks, and settle for less. Many people live this way because they think they are not good enough. But remember this, everyone makes mistakes, everyone fails. That does not make you unworthy, it makes you human. What matters is the belief that you are still deserving of a better tomorrow. In my journey, I faced so much doubt. People laughed at my ideas. They said e-commerce in China would never work. If I had listened, I would have agreed that I didn't deserve success. But instead, I told myself, I am no smarter than others, but I am willing to learn, to fight, and to try again. That belief that I was worthy of success if I gave my best kept me moving forward. Deserving success does not mean expecting it without effort. It means knowing that if you put in the work, you have the right to enjoy the results. Too many people work hard but secretly believe they will never win. That mindset kills their energy. If you plant seeds but believe they will never grow, why would you water them? Belief is the water that makes your efforts bloom into success. I want you to understand something. Happiness is not selfish. Many people feel guilty when they are happy, as if they don't deserve to smile when others suffer. But being unhappy does not help anyone. When you are happy, you create positive energy that lifts other people. A leader who is miserable will make his team miserable, but a leader who is happy can spread hope. That is why you must accept happiness as your right. Some people think they must suffer endlessly to deserve success. They believe only through pain can they earn happiness. But that is a dangerous belief. Yes, hard work is required. Yes, sacrifices are necessary. But suffering is not the goal. Growth is. Happiness is not the prize at the end. It is the strength that allows you to reach the end. You deserve both, not one or the other. When I teach young entrepreneurs, I always say, never let failure convince you that you are undeserving. Failure is not proof of unworthiness. It is proof of effort. The fact that you tried means you are already ahead of those who never dared. Success will come if you keep trying. Happiness will come if you learn along the way. The only people who do not deserve success are those who stop believing in themselves. I remember once, an employee asked me, Jack, why do you always smile, even when things go wrong? I told him, because if I lose my smile, I also lose my hope. And without hope, we cannot succeed. Happiness is not a reaction to good times. It is a decision to stay strong in difficult times. If you choose happiness today, you give yourself the energy to create success tomorrow. Believing you deserve success and happiness is also about respect. Respect for your efforts, respect for your time, respect for your journey. If you keep working but never allow yourself to feel proud, then you disrespect your own hard work. Self-respect builds confidence, and confidence attracts opportunities. No one wants to follow a leader who does not respect himself. People often say, Jack, you are lucky. And yes, maybe I was lucky in some ways, but I always reply, luck is important, but belief is more important. Luck may give you one chance, but belief will give you many chances. If you believe you deserve success, you will recognize luck when it comes, and you will have the courage to grab it. Happiness is also a practice. Just like you practice business, you must practice happiness. Every morning, remind yourself of what you are grateful for. Every evening, remind yourself of what you achieved, even if it was small. These small practices train your mind to feel deserving. If you wait for a big event to make you happy, you will wait forever. But if you learn to celebrate small victories, happiness will follow you daily. I believe one of the reasons people don't feel they deserve success is comparison. They look at someone richer, smarter, more talented and think, I am nothing compared to them. But comparison is poison. The only comparison that matters is with yourself. Are you better today than yesterday? If yes, you deserve success. Are you smiling more today than yesterday? If yes, you deserve happiness. In my early days, I compared myself to great entrepreneurs in America. I felt so small, but then I realized they cannot be me and I cannot be them. My journey is my own. The moment I stopped comparing, I started creating. That was when true success came, because I was finally building what only I could build. Remember, you deserve success, not because you are better than others, but because you are becoming the best version of yourself. Success without happiness is failure in disguise. What is the use of building a company, making money, and gaining power if you cannot enjoy life? Too many people achieve material success but remain empty inside. Happiness must walk beside you on your journey, not wait for you at the finish line. You deserve both. And if you forget this, you will spend your life chasing something that never satisfies you. One lesson I learned is that happiness is not about having everything. It is about appreciating what you already have. Even during Alibaba's hardest days, I was happy because I was surrounded by a team who believed in the dream. Happiness comes from connection, purpose, and progress. These things are available to anyone who chooses them. That means anyone, including you, deserves happiness right now. Believing you deserve success also gives you resilience. When people criticize you, when plans fail, when times get tough, you will not quit easily. Why? Because you know deep down that you are meant for something better. That belief keeps you standing when others fall. It keeps you moving when others stop. Without it, you will collapse under pressure. With it, you will rise again and again. I want you to imagine a world where every person believed they deserve success and happiness. There would be less jealousy, less bitterness, and more progress. Because people who feel worthy do not waste time pulling others down. They focus on building themselves up. Your belief is not just for you, it is also for the people around you. When you show them that happiness is possible, you give them permission to believe the same. Do not let your past mistakes make you think you are undeserving. If I had believed that, I would still be living with regret instead of leading Alibaba. Your past is not your prison, it is your teacher. Success and happiness belong to those who learn, not to those who are perfect. If you carry guilt and shame, release them. They are heavy. You cannot climb to success while carrying unnecessary weight. There will always be voices that tell you, you don't deserve it. Some people will say, you are not smart enough, not talented enough, not rich enough. Ignore them. The loudest voice must always be your own. Tell yourself daily, I deserve success and happiness. Train your mind to believe it so deeply that no outside voice can shake it. Your inner belief is stronger than any outside doubt. I believe that success and happiness are like two wings of a bird. With only one, you cannot fly. If you focus only on success, you will be unbalanced. If you focus only on happiness without growth, you will be stagnant. But with both wings, ambition and joy, you can soar high. That is why you must claim both as your right every single day. When you wake up tomorrow, don't just think about your responsibilities. Think about your worth. Say to yourself, I deserve to achieve. I deserve to smile. I deserve to grow. These words are not arrogance. They are fuel. They remind you that your time is valuable, your efforts are meaningful, and your life has purpose. Without this belief, you will live small. With it, you will live full. So let me leave you with this. Success and happiness are not for the chosen few. They are for anyone who dares to believe, to act, and to persist. You deserve them not because life is easy, but because you are willing to rise above difficulty. You deserve them not because you are perfect, but because you keep learning. Every morning, remind yourself, I deserve success and happiness. Say it, believe it, live it, and your life will transform. Every morning, I remind myself that gratitude is my greatest source of power. Not money, not fame, not influence, but gratitude. Why? Because gratitude changes how I see the world. When I am thankful, even small things become big blessings. Without gratitude, even success feels empty. Gratitude gives me strength to face challenges with hope instead of fear. When I was rejected from dozens of jobs, I could have been bitter, but instead I chose gratitude. I told myself, at least I have another chance to try again. Gratitude turned my rejection into motivation. If you only focus on what you lost, you become weak. But if you focus on what you still have, you become powerful. Gratitude transforms pain into energy for growth. In business, gratitude keeps you humble. Without it, you may start thinking success is all because of you. But the truth is, no one succeeds alone. I am grateful to my team, my customers, my critics, and even my competitors. They all taught me something. Gratitude reminds you that success is not a solo story. It is a shared journey. Gratitude also builds resilience. When you are grateful, setbacks cannot break you. Even in hard times, you can say, I am thankful for the lessons this problem brings. This mindset keeps you strong when others quit. Gratitude does not remove difficulty, but it changes how you carry it. It gives you the strength to continue walking when the road is long. Many people wait for happiness before feeling grateful, but the secret is the opposite. Gratitude creates happiness. If you cannot appreciate what you have now, you will not appreciate success later. I know billionaires who are miserable because they always want more. I also know ordinary workers who smile every day because they are grateful. Gratitude, not money, is the true source of joy. I learned this lesson early in life. Growing up poor, I had very little, but I was grateful for the books I borrowed, the teachers who encouraged me, and the chance to learn English. Gratitude turned scarcity into abundance. It taught me that even when I don't have much, I still have enough to move forward. This attitude gave me the courage to dream bigger. Gratitude also makes you a better leader. A leader who only criticizes will never inspire, but a leader who shows gratitude builds loyalty. I always thanked my team for their hard work, even when we failed. Why? Because gratitude builds trust, and trust builds teams. Without gratitude, people only work for money. With gratitude, they work with heart. In times of failure, gratitude protects your mind. When Alibaba faced its toughest moments, I told myself, I am grateful that at least we are still alive as a company. That gratitude gave me hope. If you look only at what you lost, you will feel defeated. But if you focus on what remains, you find the energy to rebuild. Gratitude turns failure into a foundation. Gratitude also teaches patience. Success does not come overnight. There were years when nothing seemed to work. But instead of complaining, I thanked life for the opportunity to learn. Gratitude made the waiting meaningful. It reminded me that every small step was progress. Without gratitude, waiting feels like suffering. With gratitude, waiting feels like growth. I believe gratitude is also the antidote to fear. When you are afraid of the future, stop and be thankful for the present. Gratitude grounds you in the now. Fear says, what if I lose everything? Gratitude says, I already have more than enough. This shift in mindset takes away fear's power. A grateful heart is stronger than an anxious mind. Every morning, I practice gratitudes by listing 3 things I am thankful for. Sometimes they are big. My company, my health, sometimes small, a good conversation, a simple meal. But each one reminds me that life is already full of blessings. This daily ritual gives me calmness and focus. Gratitude is not an event, it is a discipline. Gratitude is also powerful because it opens doors. People love working with someone who appreciates them. Customers stay with companies that value them. Friends remain loyal when they feel recognized. Gratitude is not just emotional, it is also practical. It builds relationships, and relationships build success. Never underestimate the business power of a simple thank you. I often tell young people, gratitude is free, but it is priceless. You don't need money to say thank you. You don't need power to show appreciation. Yet gratitude can earn you trust, support, and respect. Things money cannot buy. If you cannot be grateful now, you will not be grateful later, no matter how much you achieve. Gratitude also protects you from arrogance. Success can make you proud, but gratitude keeps you grounded. I always remember the people who helped me, the teachers who encouraged me, and the failures that shaped me. Gratitude reminds me that I did not succeed alone. This humility keeps my heart open to learning, even today. Without gratitude, life feels like a burden. You wake up thinking about what is missing instead of what is present. This is why so many people feel empty, even after achieving success. They forgot to practice gratitude. But with gratitude, life feels lighter. You realize that each day is a gift, not a guarantee. That perspective gives you energy to keep moving forward. Gratitude is also contagious. When you express thankfulness, others feel it. A simple word of appreciation can brighten someone's day. In business, gratitude creates culture. In families, gratitude creates love. In society, gratitude creates unity. It is like a candle. When you light one, it spreads without losing its own flame. I remember one employee telling me, "Jack, I will never forget the day you thanked me in front of everyone." That one moment gave him motivation for years. Gratitude costs nothing, but it creates loyalty that money cannot buy. This is why I always say gratitude is not weakness, it is leadership. Gratitude also changes how you see challenges. Instead of saying, "Why me?" you say, "Thank you for the lesson." When I failed in my first ventures, I could have quit. But I thanked life for teaching me resilience. Without those failures, I would not be the leader I am today. Gratitude turns challenges into stepping stones. Even in personal life, gratitude builds strength. I am grateful to my family, who stood by me during my hardest times. I am grateful to my friends, who reminded me to laugh when business was stressful. Gratitude is not only for achievements, it is for relationships. Success without gratitude for people is an empty victory. Gratitude also sharpens focus. When you appreciate what you have, you stop chasing distractions. You stop wasting time comparing yourself with others. Gratitude keeps your eyes on your own path. You move with clarity instead of envy. That focus gives you a powerful advantage in both life and business. One of my favorite practices is thanking my failures. Yes, thanking them. Because without them, I would not be here. Gratitude makes even pain valuable. If you can be grateful for your worst days, you will never fear the future. Gratitude transforms even darkness into wisdom. That is true power. Every time I travel, I'm grateful to see how big the world is. Gratitude expands your vision. It reminds you that life is more than money, more than business, more than competition. It is about people, experiences, and growth. Gratitude gives meaning to success. Without it, success is just numbers. Gratitude also keeps you healthy. Science proves that thankful people live longer, sleep better, and stress less. I don't need science to tell me. I feel it. When I am grateful, my energy rises. I smile more. I worry less. Gratitude is not just good for business. It is good for your body and mind. So tomorrow morning, don't start your day with complaints. Start it with gratitude. Say, "I am grateful for this new day. I am grateful for my mind, my body, my opportunities." This will give you strength before you even face the world. Gratitude is not a reaction. It is preparation. It is your shield and your sword. Let me leave you with this. Power is not about control over others. It is about control over yourself. And gratitude is the ultimate form of self-control. It allows you to choose hope over fear, joy over bitterness, progress over excuses. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a force. Use it daily, and you will discover that gratitude is the most powerful energy you will ever have. Every day, life throws distractions at us. News, gossip, complaints, and endless tasks can steal our attention. If you are not careful, you spend your energy on things that do not matter. And at the end of the day, you feel exhausted but empty. That is why I tell myself, I will focus on what matters. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing what is truly important. When I started Alibaba, many people gave me advice. Some said, go into real estate. Others said, focus on the stock market. If I had listened to every voice, Alibaba would not exist. I chose to focus on building e-commerce because I believed it mattered for the future of China. You must decide what matters most to your vision and then give it everything you have. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people chasing too many things at once. They want success, but their attention is scattered. If you chase two rabbits, you catch none. Success comes when you learn to ignore noise and put your energy into what truly drives results. Focus is the bridge between dreams and achievement. Focusing on what matters also means understanding your priorities. For me, 3 things mattered most: my team, my customers, and my mission. If I lost focus on these, nothing else would succeed. For you, it may be your health, your family, your education, or your business. Ask yourself daily, am I spending time on what really matters or on what is easy? I will tell you something I learned. Busy does not mean productive. Many people are busy all day but achieve nothing. They mistake movement for progress. Focus forces you to ask, am I moving in the right direction? Without this question, you risk climbing the ladder of success only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. In leadership, focus is even more important. A leader must protect the vision from distractions. If the leader gets lost in noise, the whole team loses direction. When I faced criticism, I reminded myself, does this opinion help our mission? If yes, I listened. If no, I ignored it. Focus is not about arrogance, it is about discipline. Focusing on what matters also means letting go of what does not. This is difficult because sometimes the things we let go are comfortable. Maybe it is a bad habit, a toxic relationship, or even an old idea. But if it no longer serves your future, you must release it. Your energy is limited. Don't waste it on things that pull you backward. When I was younger, I spent too much time trying to prove myself to others. That was a mistake. The more you focus on other people's opinions, the less you focus on your own growth. I realized one day, criticism will not disappear, no matter what you do. So instead of trying to please everyone, I focused on building something valuable. That decision changed everything. In business, focusing on what matters means serving your customers. Many companies die because they chase money instead of value. At Alibaba, we focused on helping small businesses succeed. That focus gave us purpose and direction. Money came later as a result of staying true to what mattered most. Focus is also about protecting your time. Time is the most valuable resource you have. If you spend it on gossip, arguments, or distractions, you waste your future. I always say, time is like water in a sponge. If you squeeze it, you will find more. But don't waste it on things that do not matter. Every minute must serve your bigger vision. I also believe focusing on what matters means focusing on people. Success is not just numbers. It is about relationships. I never forget the teachers who encouraged me, the team that trusted me, and the friends who supported me. Without them, my achievements would be meaningless. Focus on building relationships that matter, not temporary connections that disappear when success comes. One of the greatest challenges of focus is temptation. Every day, new opportunities appear. Some are good, but not all are for you. If you try to take every opportunity, you lose direction. I learned to ask, does this opportunity bring me closer to my mission? If not, I let it go. Discipline is saying no to what looks shiny but does not matter. Focusing on what matters also protects your peace of mind. The world is noisy, full of opinions and negativity. If you let everything enter your mind, you will feel lost. But when you focus on what matters, your mind becomes clear. You worry less about what others are doing and more about building your own path. Let me tell you, focusing on what matters is not easy. The world will pull you in many directions. People will doubt you, criticize you, and distract you. But focus is like a compass. It keeps you pointed north when storms come. Without focus, you drift. With focus, you arrive. Sometimes focusing on what matters means sacrificing comfort. You may need to wake up earlier, work harder, or miss out on short-term pleasures. But these sacrifices are not losses. They are investments. If you sacrifice what does not matter, you gain what truly does. Comfort today cannot compare to purpose tomorrow. I remember when I spent months traveling to convince investors, and most said no. It was exhausting. But I focused on what mattered, building Alibaba's future. If I had been distracted by rejection, I would have given up. Focus gave me strength to endure. Today, people see the success, but it was focus during the difficult times that created it. Focus is also about clarity. You cannot focus on what matters if you do not know what matters. That is why reflection is important. Each morning, ask yourself, what is truly important to me today? Without clarity, you will waste your energy on trivial things. Clarity gives direction. Focus gives power. Focusing on what matters also means saying no. Many people cannot say no, and they drown in obligations that don't serve their goals. I learned to say no politely but firmly. Every time I say no to something unimportant, I say yes to my mission. Protecting your focus is an act of self-respect. In your personal life, focus on what matters means cherishing your health. Many entrepreneurs ignore this, working day and night until their body collapses. But health is the foundation of everything. Without it, success means nothing. That is why I tell myself, focus on health first, then business. Success cannot replace life. Focus also applies to emotions. If you focus on anger, you become bitter. If you focus on gratitude, you become joyful. Your emotions follow your attention. Each morning, I choose to focus on hope, not fear, on courage, not doubt. This choice shapes how I lead and how I live. Focusing on what matters also builds consistency. Success is not created by one big action, but by many small actions done consistently. If you keep focusing on what matters every day, even in small steps, you will see big results. Consistency is the child of focus. Without focus, consistency cannot exist. Another truth is this: focus gives you freedom. Many people think freedom is doing everything you want, but true freedom is choosing what matters and ignoring the rest. When you focus, you no longer feel pressured by distractions. You move with purpose, not confusion. That is real freedom. When you lose focus, you lose power. When you gain focus, you gain momentum. Every successful person I have met shares one quality: focus. They know what matters, and they do not waste time on what doesn't. That is why they move faster, achieve more, and inspire others. Focus is the engine of achievement. So tomorrow when you wake up, don't start with your phone, your messages, or your worries. Start by asking yourself, what truly matters today? Write it down. Keep it in your mind all day. Protect it like treasure. If you give your energy to what matters, you will feel fulfilled even if the day is hard. Let me leave you with this. Distractions are cheap, but focus is priceless. Anyone can waste time, but few can direct it wisely. If you want success, happiness, and meaning, you must learn this discipline. I will focus on what matters. Say it daily, live it fully, and you will find that focus is the power that transforms dreams into reality. Every morning I remind myself, my future is not written by luck, not by chance, not even by talent. My future is written by my actions. Many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, or someone to rescue them. But the truth is, the future belongs to those who act today. Action is the pen that writes tomorrow. When I was rejected from jobs and schools, I could have accepted failure as my destiny, but instead, I acted. I studied harder. I practiced English. I started small businesses. Most of them failed, but each action moved me forward. If I had done nothing, my story would have ended before it began. It was action, not luck, that created my future. Too many people spend their time thinking, planning, and dreaming, but never acting. Thinking without action is like planting seeds and never watering them. Dreams are important, but without action, they are just imagination. Action is what transforms an idea into reality. The world rewards those who do, not those who only talk. In business, action beats theory. When I started Alibaba, I had no experience in technology, but I acted anyway. I gathered people who knew more than me, and we tried, failed, and tried again. If we had waited until we knew everything, Alibaba would never exist. Action creates knowledge. Waiting creates regret. Action also builds confidence. Many people wait to feel confident before they act, but confidence is born from doing. The first time I spoke English, I was nervous. The first time I gave a speech, I was afraid. But after acting again and again, confidence grew naturally. Action is the mother of courage. I often tell young people, your future is not decided by what you hope for, but by what you do daily. If you want health, exercise. If you want success, work hard. If you want wisdom, keep learning. Wishing will not bring results, only action will. Your future is hidden in the small actions you repeat every day. Even failure is valuable when you act. Every failed attempt teaches you something no book can teach. Many people fear action because they fear mistakes. But mistakes are not the enemy. Inaction is. Failure pushes you forward. Inaction keeps you stuck. If you fail 10 times, you still move. If you do nothing 10 times, you lose 10 opportunities. When you act, you inspire others. A leader is not someone who just speaks, but someone who takes action and shows the way. During Alibaba's early years, I did not have all the answers, but I acted with courage, and that gave my team the belief to act as well. Action is contagious. When one person moves, others follow. Action also creates clarity. Many people wait until they figure it out, but clarity comes after action, not before. When you try, you see what works and what doesn't. When you wait, you only imagine. Every step you take reveals the next step. The road becomes visible only when you start walking. I know some people believe destiny decides everything. They think, if I'm meant to succeed, it will happen. But destiny favors the active. If you sit still, destiny will pass you by. If you act, you create your own luck. I was not born rich or connected, but I acted every chance I had. That is why I stand here today. My actions also shaped my character. Hard work taught me discipline. Facing rejection taught me resilience. Helping others taught me compassion. These qualities were not given by nature. They were developed through action. Your character is built not by what you think about, but by what you do consistently. Action does not have to be big. Small steps matter. Reading 1 page a day builds wisdom. Saving 1 coin a day builds wealth. Helping 1 person a day builds reputation. People overestimate what they can achieve in one big leap, but underestimate what they can achieve through small daily actions. The future is built brick by brick. I believe action is also the cure for fear. Fear grows when you sit still. But once you act, fear begins to shrink. Before every big speech, I felt nervous. But the moment I started speaking, fear lost its power. Action turns fear into focus. The only way to overcome fear is to face it with action. Action creates opportunities. Many of my successes came not from perfect planning, but from acting and discovering new possibilities along the way. If you don't act, you don't meet people, you don't see options, you don't learn new skills. Opportunities rarely knock on your door. You must knock on theirs with action. The world is full of talented people who never succeed because they never act. Talent is wasted without effort. Dreams die without execution. But I have also seen ordinary people achieve greatness simply because they acted with persistence. The future belongs not to the most talented, but to the most consistent in action. Sometimes action means sacrifice. You may need to give up comfort, entertainment, or even approval from others. When I acted to build Alibaba, people said I was crazy. They laughed. But I focused on action instead of opinions. If you wait for everyone to agree before you act, you will wait forever. Action also teaches humility. When you try and fail, you learn you are not perfect. But that is good. It keeps you growing. People who never act live in illusions. They think they could succeed if they tried, but they never test themselves. Action reveals the truth, and the truth makes you stronger. In life, there are 2 kinds of pain: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline comes from acting daily toward your goals. Regret comes from doing nothing. Discipline may hurt now, but it builds a better future. Regret may feel comfortable now, but it destroys tomorrow. Choose action, choose discipline, and avoid regret. My actions also created my network. By acting, I met people who later became my partners, investors, and supporters. If I had stayed silent, I would never have crossed paths with them. Action connects you to the world. Each step you take brings you closer to the people and opportunities meant for you. I often say, vision without action is a daydream. Action without vision is a nightmare. You need both. But remember, vision alone does nothing. Action is the engine that drives vision forward. Even a small step is better than standing still with a big dream. Progress is made through movement. Some people think they are waiting for the right time. But let me tell you, the right time does not exist. There will always be risks, always be uncertainty. The only right time is the moment you decide to act. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will wait forever. The future is created by those who act now. Action is also about responsibility. When you act, you take ownership of your life. You stop blaming the government, the economy, or other people. You say, my actions will shape my tomorrow. That mindset gives you control. Without action, you become a victim of circumstances. With action, you become the author of your future. I have learned that action is the greatest teacher. Books can give you knowledge, but only action gives you wisdom. You cannot learn to swim by reading about water. You must jump in. In the same way, you cannot learn business, leadership, or courage by theory alone. You must act, fail, and learn. So every morning I tell myself, my actions create my future. This reminds me not to waste time, not to wait for luck, not to depend on others. It pushes me to make decisions, to take steps, to move forward. Even when I fail, I know I am shaping tomorrow. Action is progress, and progress is life. Let me leave you with this. Your future is not written in the stars. It is written in your actions. Every choice, every step, every effort is building tomorrow. Don't underestimate the power of daily action. Small or big, they add up. Say to yourself every day, my actions create my future. Believe it, live it, and you will see your life transform. Every morning I tell myself, nothing can stop my growth. Growth is not about never failing, never being rejected, or never being criticized. Growth is about moving forward despite those things. Life will always throw challenges, but growth is a choice. If you choose to learn, to adapt, and to rise, then nothing can truly hold you back. When I was rejected from jobs and schools, I could have stopped, but instead, I decided to grow. Each rejection taught me resilience. Each failure made me stronger. Growth is not the absence of obstacles. It is the mastery of them. The world cannot stop you from growing if you refuse to stop yourself. Growth comes from mindset. If you believe problems are the end, then you stop. But if you see problems as teachers, you continue. This is why I always tell young people, your mind is your greatest weapon. With the right mindset, you can grow in any situation. Even when you lose everything, you can gain wisdom. That is growth. Nothing can stop your growth if you commit to learning. The world changes fast, technology changes, business changes, even culture changes. But as long as you keep learning, you keep growing. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Growth is endless for those who stay curious and hungry for knowledge. I remember when people said, Jack, e-commerce in China will never work. That could have stopped me. But instead of quitting, I grew by learning more about people's fears, about trust, about technology. Every no became a chance to understand better. That growth is what kept Alibaba alive. Growth is the fuel that keeps dreams breathing. Nothing can stop your growth if you understand patience. Growth is not instant. A tree does not become tall in one day. It grows slowly, through seasons of sunshine and storms. In the same way, your growth will take time. Do not give up when progress feels slow. Growth is happening even when you don't see it. Criticism cannot stop your growth either. When people laugh at you, when they call you crazy, that is their opinion. But your growth comes from your action, not their words. If I had listened to my critics, I would have stayed small, but I chose to grow beyond their doubts. Growth belongs to those who believe in themselves. Sometimes failure feels like the end, but failure is not a wall. It is a stepping stone. Each failure carries a lesson that pushes you forward. If you can see failure as growth, then nothing can defeat you. The only true failure is refusing to grow. If you grow, then failure is just part of your progress. Nothing can stop your growth if you focus on persistence. Talent may give you a start, luck may give you a chance, but persistence gives you growth. Every day you keep moving, even when it is hard, you grow. Growth is not built in one big leap, but in many small steps taken consistently. Growth is also about perspective. Two people can face the same problem, but one grows and one gives up. Why? Because one sees the problem as a dead end, while the other sees it as an opportunity to adapt. Growth is about asking, what can I learn? How can I improve? If you ask these questions, nothing can stop you. When I look back at my journey, I see growth in the hardest times. During Alibaba's darkest days, when we had no money and no trust, I told myself, this is not the end. This is training. That belief turned obstacles into opportunities. The truth is, easy times don't grow you. Hard times do. Nothing can stop your growth if you surround yourself with the right people. Alone, growth is difficult. But with a team that supports and challenges you, growth becomes unstoppable. My growth was not only because of me, it was because of the people around me. Growth thrives in an environment of encouragement and shared vision. Growth also requires humility. If you believe you already know everything, you stop. But if you stay humble, you keep learning. I was never the smartest person in the room, but I was willing to learn from others. That humility fueled my growth. Remember, pride stops growth, but humility multiplies it. Nothing can stop your growth if you treat challenges as fuel. Every obstacle you face is energy for improvement. When doors close, you learn to build your own. When opportunities disappear, you learn to create new ones. Growth is the art of turning obstacles into stepping stones. With that mindset, nothing can stop you. Growth also comes from gratitude. If you are thankful, you see possibilities where others see problems. Gratitude keeps you motivated, keeps you humble, and keeps you moving. When you are grateful for what you have, you use it wisely, and that creates more growth. Gratitude turns scarcity into abundance, and abundance fuels growth. Nothing can stop your growth if you accept change. The world will not stay the same. If you fight change, you become stuck. But if you adapt, you keep growing. Alibaba succeeded because we embraced change. Growth comes from flexibility. Those who bend with the wind survive the storm. Growth is also spiritual. It is not only about business or money. It is about becoming a better human being, kinder, wiser, more patient. If you grow only in wealth but not in character, you are not truly growing. Nothing can stop your growth if you value becoming better, not just becoming richer. Fear tries to stop growth. Fear says, what if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I lose everything? But growth answers, what if I succeed? What if I learn? What if I become stronger? Fear is loud, but growth is stronger. The moment you act despite fear, growth wins. Nothing can stop your growth if you commit to action. Growth does not come from thinking about it. It comes from doing, from testing, from trying. Even small actions add up. Each step forward, no matter how small, is growth. The future is shaped not by what you imagine, but by what you do. Growth is also about resilience. When you fall, you rise. When you are pushed back, you push again. Resilience is the guarantee of growth. The world cannot stop someone who refuses to quit. Every time you rise after falling, you grow taller than before. Resilience makes growth unstoppable. Nothing can stop your growth if you align it with purpose. Growth without purpose is empty, but when your growth serves a mission bigger than yourself, it becomes powerful. My growth with Alibaba was not just about business. It was about helping small businesses succeed. That purpose kept me moving even in hard times. Growth is not always visible. Sometimes it feels like nothing is changing. But growth often happens underground, like roots spreading before the tree rises. Do not be discouraged by slow progress. Invisible growth today becomes visible success tomorrow. Nothing can stop growth that is patiently nurtured. Nothing can stop your growth if you stay consistent. Success is not created in one day. It is created in many ordinary days of discipline. Reading daily, working daily, improving daily, this is growth. Consistency is the secret. Even small daily growth compounds into extraordinary success. Your growth cannot be stopped by others unless you give them permission. People may doubt you, reject you, criticize you, but they cannot stop your growth unless you accept their words. Growth is personal. It happens inside you before it shows outside. Protect your growth mindset and no one can take it away. So every morning tell yourself, nothing can stop my growth. Say it with conviction. Live it with discipline. Growth is not about avoiding failure. It is about learning from it. Growth is not about waiting for the right time. It is about acting now. If you commit to growing every day, then no obstacle, no critic, no failure can stop you. Growth is your power, and with it, your future is limitless. Remember, the words you tell yourself each morning are like seeds you plant in your mind. If you plant doubt, you harvest fear. If you plant courage, you harvest success. Don't just listen to these 8 reminders today. Practice them tomorrow morning and the next until they become part of who you are. Because the greatest investment you can make is in the way you think. Start strong every morning, and the world will start opening doors for you.